Welcome students. Today we are going to study about school. We'll start with Unit 1, Administration of Schools. Topic, Meaning and Concept of Educational Administration. Before we start with educational administration, let us first understand what do we mean by administration. The term administration doesn't refer to any single process or act. It is like a broad umbrella encompassing a number of processes such as planning, organizing, directing, coordinating, controlling, and evaluating the performance. Educational administration is the study and practice of managing the resources, tasks, and communications involved in running a school. The goals of education are realized through the effective functioning of schools and other educational institutes. A lot of planning and policy formulation is required in developing books, training teachers, setting up and the maintenance of the schools, completing the curriculum transaction, evaluating students' performance, and so on. Besides the teachers, there are many other parties who guide and help in accomplishing the goals of educational goals smoothly. These goals may not be fully accomplished if the principals of the educational institutions do not extend the support of their leadership. There are basically three levels of educational administrators. The top level educational administrators develop the goals of education with the help of educationists and experts from some apex educational organizations. They develop the policies and the programs. They, with the help of the middle level educational administrators like joint secretaries, deputy secretaries, and joint directors of education, etc., proceed to communicate the intent of the top administrators of the supervisory level officers like education officers, principals, etc., to achieve the goals of education through the teachers. Teachers finally complete the curriculum transaction under the supervision of their respective principals. Thus, we see that there are mainly three levels of educational administrators. The top level educational administrators are mainly engaged in planning, policy formulation, strategic decision making, organizing, etc. The middle level administrators communicate the intent of the top level to the supervisory level and develop tactical plans or short-term plans to facilitate the job of the supervisory level administrators. The supervisory level administrators carry out the directions of the middle level administrators and try to accomplish the goals set by the top level administrators. They are close to the teachers and see how they complete the curriculum transaction. Thus, it is the process of determining the goals of education, developing plans, providing resources, creating know-how, and overseeing the successful completion of the curriculum transaction. We can say educational administration is regarded as the process of integrating the appropriate human and material resources that are made available and made effective for achieving the purposes of the program of an educational institution. From the above, we can see that the head of the educational organization is basically engaged in organization of the plans carefully and various activities. The head of the school organizes these programs and activities with cooperation from other teachers, parents, and students. He or she motivates them and coordinates the efforts of the teachers as well as directs and exercises control over them, and he or she evaluates their performance and progress in achieving the purposes of the program. He also provides feedback to them and brings modification if required in the plans and programs of the school or the college or the university, or you can say any educational setup. So the totality of these processes which are directed towards realizing or achieving the purpose of the goals of the school is called educational administration. There are various definitions of educational administrations, and from these definitions we can summarize what is educational administration, and we can very well understand the concept of educational administration. Now let me talk about the first definition according to Graham Balfour. Educational administration is to enable the right pupils to receive the right education from the right teachers at a cost within the means of the state under conditions which will enable the pupils best to profit by their training. The second definition by Encyclopedia of Educational Research, 3rd edition, gives educational administration is a process of integrating the efforts of the personnel and of utilizing appropriate materials in such a way as to promote effectively the development of human qualities. And the third definition reads as educational administration is a service activity through which the objectives of the educational processes may be effectively realized. Thus, from these definitions, we can conclude that educational administration is making all efforts and agencies work together in unison. Secondly, assisting in the realization of the aims and objectives of education. The aims and objectives of education is the holistic development of the individual. So, it is the efforts of all agencies working together to bring about the development, holistic development of the individual. Thirdly, rendering service to the society in its progress and that of the individuals. Educational administration is a non-profit making task. So, it helps in rendering service to the society in its progress. Fourthly, it is concerned with diverse human beings, the teachers, students, parents, and public, and the coordination of their efforts. And fifthly, it is concerned with all those activities undertaken and fullest utilization of resources for education and its purposes through the procedure of organizing, ordering, facilitating, and improving the efforts of people in the realization of the goals of education. Thus, we can say educational administration is the study and practice of managing the resources, tasks, and communications involved in running a school. The goal of the administrator is to keep the school's overall process flowing smoothly, making decisions that facilitate successful education. The administrator identifies and articulates a school's mission and goals and makes them happen by implementing programs, delegating tasks, and allocating resources. Thank you.